Republican analyst Dan Bartlett and Democratic strategist Jamal Simmons. Let me start with you, Jamal. What happened? Where did Barack Obama go wrong to really have this happen to him during the midterm elections?
Katie, it looks like what happened very early on in this administration is that they did very good policy from a Democratic perspective, and I would argue even from a lot of the voters in this country in terms of passing a stimulus bill that was going to help health care that people want to see. But they didn't do good politics. They didn't explain the policies well enough for people to buy into them, and they didn't really put them all under the right umbrella so that everyone understood how it all fit together. That would help people get jobs, help the country get more competitive. And you know, the kids on the Brady Bunch used to sing, when it's time to change, you've got to rearrange. We're now at the point in this election where the president has learned he's got to change and rearrange some things, perhaps the White House, maybe bring in some fresh blood and start to get the White House back on a firmer footing to take on the challenges coming forward with this Republican Congress.
And Dan Bartlett, do you think messaging was the problem, or do you think the policies were the problem?
Well, I am going to have to disagree with my colleague here. This is not a communications problem. It was the policies that were the problem. The Democrats in Congress, and more importantly, the President of the United States, took their eye off the ball. The ball was the economy and jobs. Instead, with a lot of pent-up demand of Democratic politics for a long time, they wanted to pursue a lot of these New Deal-like initiatives like health care reform, climate change, et cetera. Those are the things that were being rejected by the voters tonight. Rejected because it wasn't focused on the economy, wasn't focused on jobs, and was controversial. And that's what broke up the coalition that brought him into power in 2008, particularly with independents. They rejected that aggressive focus on intrusive government, more government control, and now we're seeing a swing back to Republicans. But just as importantly, Katie, it's going to be important that Republicans understand that they didn't win as much as they inherited this victory from Democrats. And with that comes, hopefully, some humility as they approach a new governing role.
And Jamal, what can Republicans, even if they control the House, realistically do to stimulate the economy and create jobs?
Well, I think, the Republican plan seems to be tax cuts is the answer for all things. The problem is they also want to do something about the deficit. So the deficit's going to be hard to do. So the question is, how do they do something that both stimulates jobs, like you've asked, and then also stay true to their beliefs?